okay, you cannot change without changing. You can't change unless you change. This is something that I have been saying to myself and to my clients for years. So in my old career, in my new career, I help people through change, and I help people create meaningful change in their lives. And one of the things that may seem so incredibly obvious to myself included, and yet always comes up for me at a time where I have to actually buy into it and demonstrate it and choose it, is that you can't change without changing. So one of the cool things is that I can learn how to create the change that I want in my life, how to create or participate in the change that is life moving. Life is alive, it's moving, it's growing, it's expressing, it's an organism, it's alive. And so it's moving, and therefore it's changing moment to moment. And so I can learn about that. I can learn how to participate actively in that, and I can learn how to be intentional with directing, allowing life force through me, through the lens that is my body, the instrument that is my body. Allow life to play that music through me to create a meaningful and fulfilling life, or meaningful, fulfilling change in my life. So that's awesome. I mean, we are not victims here. We can participate actively, and we can learn the role of the individual as part of the whole. Whole in and of itself, in and of ourselves, and part of a whole at the same time. So, but that's not what this is about today. Just noting that, okay, we can do that. I can learn how to create my reality and learn how that is happening through me all the time. Manifest reality is the result, or the experience of my default perceptions, of my chosen perceptions and beliefs. That is how I experience life. But you can't change without changing. And the reason I'm talking about this today or now is because it's a circle. It's a spiral. So I know this. And so I set out to learn and become aware of and notice anything in my belief systems, anything in my perceptions, anything in my experience that isn't in alignment with what I want to create and the change that I want to make, and myself evolving intentionally. And then I work with that. That's my work. That's my stuff to work with, is anything that's out of alignment. And so I gain this knowledge, I gain this awareness and understanding of myself and knowingness. And then from that place, and while I'm, developing that awareness, I'm practicing it. I'm doing, I'm becoming. It's participatory, it's engagement, it's a relationship. And so I'm doing these things. Again, I still have my clear vision, my clarity in mind of where I'm going and why, and what that journey is like, because creating this change. And there's always going to be the moment where you have to let go. You have to let go of the old way, not knowing what the new way is going to be. I mean, you can read all the books, you can study it, you can visualize it, you can make it a reality in your inner being, all of those things. But there is going to become the moment where, in order to experience whatever the unknown possibility is, that is the manifest version of your vision, of your intention, of your life force energy, is it's in the unknown. It's new, it's different, it is a change, and therefore you're going to have to let go of what you know, what you expect, what you hope for. So even as you learn, you create the reality that you want, you also learn that it's never truly what you want. It's better. It's different in a way that you couldn't have even imagined because it is beyond the edge of your imagination. But your job is to show up with that imagination, with that vision, with the devotion to move and to move with it, and to take anything that comes up for you, any challenges, anything as feedback and information for your journey to make the change. But there comes that moment where everything will be disrupted. Everything will actually change. And there's that moment where you need to allow it. And you can practice it so that it becomes an exciting thing. And your brain is going to perceive it, whether it's for a moment or for an extended period of time. There will be this experience of fear. It's your body trying to keep itself alive, trying to protect itself as an individual being, and it's working on your behalf. And thank goodness that it is, because I can breathe, I can talk, I can dream about my future, I can give, I can receive, because that is all part of my default self too. It's part of how I am programmed and what I've learned, and those are great programs. And then there's the programs that aren't so great, that are not necessary for me to be alive, and certainly aren't necessary. In fact, they're counterintuitive to helping me thrive. So what are those programs? And how can I let them go? And so as I'm working on understanding them and moving through them and releasing them and letting them go, there comes the time where you do let go, where you do surrender to the unknown, where you do allow the change to be revealed. And so I've just had this experience where I know this, I teach this, and thank goodness I experienced this, because there's always more layers. There's always a deeper and greater experience of this. It is the experience of life. So even though I know this is the process, it can still feel scary because it's changed, because it's different. So anybody who is teaching this and saying no, I don't have that experience, that's perfect too, because there will come a time where really for them to open up to greater and greater intentional change and creation and realization of the creative potential within, you're going to have to let go. You're going to have to surrender to something that is unknown, and our body experiences that as something to protect itself from. So the work is to create the space where you are in relationship with your body, your higher self, and your body as the instrument, where you can let it know it's safe. It's safe, and maybe this feels scary, but I have been creating this, and I'm excited to see my creation. I'm excited to see my relationship with source consciousness itself, to see where my intention is met and seen by source to unfold into my reality. I think this is a super sexy, enticing relationship to be in with source consciousness, and I'm ready for that. So I surrender, I let go, I allow, and I'm at that point in my life. I'm at that cliff's edge where I know I can fly. I've practiced, I've learned, I've gotten better and better at it, and now's the moment. Now is the moment to really believe that, to really choose that. And I have felt this fear come up. And I have discovered it and named it as different things, and those things have been true, and they have helped prepare me even more to feel safe, to surrender and let go. And then in the great cosmic joke, I realized the other day that the only part of that fear that is remaining and stirring inside is the realization or the remembering that everything's going to be different. But that's actually what I've wanted. That's actually what I've chosen. That's actually what I've been creating, is different. And so now that fear gets transmuted. Now that fear is yay, excitement. Let's see. So I want to bring that up here because I help people through change. I have programs, I have circles, I do one-on-one work, group work, retreats, experiences. I'm going to be sharing more of that soon. That's part of the change, or the new creation, the new creative potential that's coming out of me is to share this and make it accessible from a number of different ways, and just to be vulnerable in that sharing that this is part of the process of change, is overcoming that fear. But to get to, you can't orchestrate it or force it or plan your surrender or let go. Or someone will say, just let go, just let go. And others can see it. Why can't you just let go? But it feels so real inside you. So part of the opportunity is to learn and practice and remember and become life as the process of fulfillment of our thoughts and emotions and actions and experience, all of that together with intention and with relationship to source, life force itself, is alchemized into what we want. And it's continuing on the journey, and it's continuing to work with all of the different practices and tools and people and whatever it is that you have available to you to work with that until the thought and the emotion and becomes embodied and is fully received at a level of knowingness. I've definitely done the thing before where I'm like, oh no, I let go. I totally let go. I totally let go. Here, let me show you all the evidence and proof of how I let go. And if I'm not experiencing the joy and beauty and magnificence and awe of my creation that I have been intending for and visualizing and moving towards, then there is something still that is saying, hey, I can't come with you. I can't come with you there. I'm the old way. That's how it works. So as long as we know that, I suppose that is one of the takeaways here. As long as we know that, you can't change without changing. So if you're not experiencing the change you're creating, then there is something else that is saying, hey, time to let go. And so, it can help to approach that fear if you remember why you're doing it. If you remember, oh, this is a process, this is part of it. And if you remember that you have everything you need, every part of who you've become to get to this point has prepared you for the letting go and for the receiving, and then you'll be in that part of the journey, and that part of the journey gets to just revel and enjoy of your courage to keep going and your courage to let go and your knowledge and knowingness and wisdom of transformation. Because change with intention is transformation. Okay, I could talk about this forever. I just wanted to share that for now. So here I go. I am letting go of the last bit of my current old paradigm, and I'm jumping off the cliff, but really I'm flying. And here I go.